Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with this. Life is full of challenges, but one of the toughest tests we face is dealing with people who think the world revolves around them. Narcissists. These individuals, they walk into your life, take what they want, and leave behind nothing but chaos. But hear me out. You don't have to stay in that place of pain. Tonight, I'm here to tell you how to turn the tables, how to rise above, and make a narcissist regret every single thing they did to you. Not by stooping to their level, oh no, but by stepping into your power. Because when you focus on becoming stronger, wiser, and unshakable, the very things they took for granted become the things they can't live without. So buckle up, because this isn't about revenge. It's about redemption. It's about becoming the person they never saw coming. Are you ready? Let's get to work. Narcissism is more than just arrogance or self-importance. It's a deeply ingrained personality trait marked by an excessive need for admiration and a lack of empathy for others. A narcissist sees the world as a stage where they are the star, and everyone around them is either a prop or a source of validation. Understanding narcissism means recognizing the patterns of manipulation, control, and entitlement that often accompany this disorder. At its core, narcissism is driven by insecurity. Narcissists project an image of perfection and superiority, but this is often a mask for their deep feelings of inadequacy. They seek constant affirmation to fill the void inside them, but no matter how much attention or praise they get, it's never enough. This insatiable need for admiration can lead them to exploit those around them, using others for their emotional and social gain without any genuine concern for their well-being. The narcissist world is one of manipulation. They excel at playing mind games, twisting situations, and making others question their reality. They'll gaslight you into thinking that you're the one who's unreasonable or overly sensitive when, in fact, they are the source of the problem. They can be charming one moment and cruel the next, creating confusion and making you doubt yourself. Another hallmark of narcissism is their inability to feel empathy. Narcissists struggle to understand or care about the emotions of others. They're so focused on their own needs that they disregard the impact their actions have on those around them. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you'll likely feel invisible and unheard and unimportant, as their needs will always come first. They may even go as far as to belittle or dehumanize you to make themselves feel more powerful. Narcissists are also experts at using guilt to manipulate and control. They can make you feel responsible for their happiness, placing the blame on you for their own failures or shortcomings. If you try to confront them, they'll deflect and accuse you of attacking them, further ensuring that they maintain their position of control. Recognizing these patterns in a narcissist is crucial because it allows you to stop internalizing their behavior and instead see them for what they truly are. Individuals who are emotionally shallow, controlling, and ultimately insecure. By understanding narcissism, you gain the clarity needed to protect yourself from their toxic influence and begin to reclaim your power. Setting boundaries with a narcissist is essential for protecting your mental and emotional health. A narcissist will often test your limits, pushing you to see how much they can get away with. Without boundaries, you risk becoming entangled in their web of manipulation and control. Establishing clear boundaries sends a powerful message that you will no longer tolerate their behavior and that you value yourself too much to accept being treated poorly. The first step in setting boundaries is to define what is acceptable and what is not. Understand what behaviors you will no longer tolerate, whether it's verbal abuse, emotional manipulation, or disregard for your needs. It's crucial to be specific and assertive about your limits, as narcissists tend to ignore vague statements. You have to be clear about what is off limits in the relationship and ensure that those boundaries are non-negotiable. Once you've established your boundaries, It's important to communicate them calmly and assertively. Narcissists may try to test your resolve by ignoring your boundaries or challenging them. It's essential to remain consistent and unwavering in your enforcement. If they cross the line, follow through with consequences, whether it's distancing yourself or ending the conversation. Narcissists may try to guilt trip you, but standing firm is key to maintaining your sense of self-respect. Boundaries also serve as a protective mechanism for your emotional well-being. A narcissist thrives on emotional reactions and will often provoke you to get a rise out of you. By setting boundaries, you limit the narcissist's ability to manipulate your emotions. They'll no longer be able to push you into compromising your values or self-worth. When you create a clear line between what is acceptable and what is not, you safeguard your peace and mental stability. Remember, setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself from the narcissist. It's also about reinforcing your self-worth. By standing up for yourself and refusing to accept mistreatment, you show the narcissist, and most importantly, yourself, that you deserve better. Boundaries are a powerful tool in regaining control over your life and shifting the power dynamic in your favor. Detaching with grace from a narcissist is one of the most powerful steps you can take to regain control of your life. Narcissists thrive on emotional connections, and when you're deeply involved with them, it's easy to become entangled in their manipulative web. Detachment allows you to break free from the emotional and psychological hold they have over you, helping you reclaim your peace, your energy, and your sense of self. To detach with grace, the first step is to acknowledge that you can't change a narcissist. Despite their charm and promises, they are unlikely to change their behavior. Accepting this reality frees you from the hope that they will eventually become the person you want them to be. Once you let go of the desire to fix or change them, you create the emotional distance necessary for detachment. Truly detach from a narcissistic figure like the person you're in desperate need of. Next, you must stop engaging in their emotional games. Narcissists thrive on drama and conflict, and they will often try to provoke you into an emotional reaction. Whether it's through guilt tripping, gaslighting, or blaming you for their failures, they aim to pull you back into their orbit. The key to detaching is refusing to engage in these tactics. Stay calm, composed, and emotionally neutral. Don't feed into their drama, and don't allow them to control your emotions. When they try to provoke a reaction, simply walk away or redirect the conversation without escalating the situation. Emotional detachment doesn't mean shutting down or becoming cold. It's about maintaining your emotional equilibrium and not allowing the narcissist to control your feelings. Start by focusing on your own well-being. Spend time doing things that nurture your soul, whether it's practicing self-care, surrounding yourself with supportive people, or engaging in activities that bring you joy. The more you focus on yourself, the less energy you have to give to the narcissist games. Physical detachment may also be necessary, especially if the narcissist's presence is toxic to your mental health. This might involve reducing contact, limiting interactions, or cutting ties altogether if necessary. This step may be difficult, particularly if the narcissist is someone close to you, but remember that your well-being comes first. Detaching physically is often the final step in reclaiming your life from their toxic influence. Detaching with grace allows you to move forward with your life without carrying the emotional baggage of the narcissist's manipulations. It's about regaining control over your own narrative, creating space for healing, and opening the door to healthier relationships. When you detach with grace, you send a clear message that you will no longer tolerate mistreatment, and you make room for the peace and happiness you deserve. Focusing on self-growth is one of the most effective ways to make a narcissist regret their actions. When you invest in your own development, you shift your attention away from their behavior and place it on becoming the best version of yourself. A narcissist thrives on keeping you small, unsure, and dependent on their approval. However, when you commit to your growth emotionally, mentally, and physically, you send a clear message that you are no longer affected by their negativity. The process of self-growth begins with self-awarenesses. You need to recognize your strengths and weaknesses, understand your values, and acknowledge areas where you need to improve. By identifying what matters most to you, you can start building a life around your goals and priorities. This is crucial because narcissists often try to divert your attention from your own ambitions to serve their needs. When you are focused on your own growth, you set boundaries around your time, energy, and focus. Self-growth also involves healing from past wounds. Narcissists often leave emotional scars. Gaslighting, belittling, and emotional neglect can take a toll on your confidence and self-esteem. Healing requires confronting these wounds, understanding their impact, and taking steps to rebuild your self-worth. Therapy, self-help books, and personal development courses can aid in this process, allowing you to gain the tools necessary to recover from the damage caused by a narcissist's behavior. Building emotional resilience is another key element of self-growth. Narcissists will try to manipulate your emotions to regain control, but when you strengthen your emotional intelligence, you become less vulnerable to their tactics. You learn to respond instead of react. Emotional resilience means you can handle their attacks without letting them shake your sense of self. It's about maintaining your peace in the face of their chaos. Physically, self-growth means prioritizing your health. Exercise, good nutrition, and self-care activities like meditation or hobbies are all ways to nurture your body and mind. By focusing on your physical well-being, you send a powerful message to yourself that you are worthy of care and attention. This shift in self-focus empowers you to stand tall and refuse to allow anyone, including a narcissist, to diminish your worth. Self-growth means growth in a new direction. Finances always follow the narcissist to diminish your worth. As you grow stronger, the narcissist will begin to notice changes in you. They'll realize that you are no longer dependent on their validation. They'll see that you've moved on, that you're thriving, and that you no longer allow their toxicity to affect you. Your growth will serve as a mirror to their own stagnation. Mastering the art of silence is one of the most effective tools when dealing with a narcissist. Narcissists thrive on attention, whether it's positive or negative, and they use emotional reactions from others to fuel their sense of superiority. When you remain silent and refuse to engage, you take away their power to manipulate and control the situation. The key is to not react emotionally to their provocations or attempts to draw you into conflict. Silence forces the narcissist to face the reality that their behavior no longer affects you. They may attempt to escalate the situation, making you feel guilty or trying to provoke a reaction, but by not engaging, you shift the power dynamic. Narcissists are accustomed to getting attention and validation, but when they no longer receive it from you, it disrupts their sense of control. They may even begin to question their own influence over you. This silence doesn't mean you're being passive or submissive. It's a form of strength, a deliberate choice to stop giving energy to someone who doesn't deserve it. By choosing not to respond, you assert your boundaries and your autonomy. You're telling them, without words, that you will no longer tolerate their manipulation. The beauty of silence is that it communicates far more than words ever could. Narcissists often thrive on creating chaos and drama. When you refuse to participate in their games, you expose their tactics for what they are: empty, unimportant, and ineffective. Over time, the narcissist will realize they can no longer control you through emotional reactions or conflict. The silence is a signal that you've moved on, and that you're no longer willing to engage in their toxic behavior. Additionally, silence creates space for clarity and self-reflection. When you stop reacting to the narcissist's provocations, you can begin to focus on your own thoughts and feelings without their influence clouding your judgment. It's an opportunity to regain your composure, reaffirm your boundaries, and restore your emotional equilibrium. This emotional distance is essential in rebuilding your sense of self-worth and reclaiming your power. While it may be challenging at first, especially if the narcissist is close to you, the more you practice the art of silence, the more empowered you become. The narcissist will soon realize they can no longer dominate your emotions, and this will make them regret ever crossing the line. Silence becomes your most powerful weapon, leaving the narcissist to confront their own insecurities and emptiness. Showing your worth is one of the most powerful ways to make a narcissist regret their actions. Narcissists tend to devalue others, using them as tools to fulfill their own needs. They believe that their superiority makes them entitled to take advantage of people without offering anything of real value in return. However, by demonstrating your own value through your actions, you send a message that you are not easily replaceable and that they have underestimated you. One of the first steps in showing your worth is to focus on your own success. Whether it's advancing in your career, developing new skills, or pursuing passions that bring you joy, make it clear that you are thriving without their influence. Narcissists often thrive by creating a sense of dependency in others. But when you show that you are capable of succeeding on your own, it undermines their sense of control over you. Your success becomes a reminder of what they've lost by taking you for granted. It's also important to set the standard for how you should be treated. By maintaining high standards for yourself, whether in your personal or professional relationships, you demonstrate that you deserve respect, appreciation, and kindness. Narcissists may attempt to manipulate or belittle you, but when you stand firm in your own value, you refuse to accept mistreatment. By not tolerating disrespect, you show that your worth is not up for negotiation. Another way to show your worth is by nurturing your relationships with people who value and appreciate you. Narcissists often try to isolate their victims, but by surrounding yourself with a supportive, loving network, you prove that there are people who recognize your value. This contrasts, highlights the emptiness of the narcissist's attempts to undermine you. They may try to convince you that you are unworthy of such relationships, but when you continue to build strong, healthy connections, you send a message that your worth is not defined by their approval. Furthermore, actions speak louder than words. Instead of telling the narcissist how great you are, let your accomplishments and your strength speak for themselves. Lead by example, demonstrating integrity, resilience, and emotional maturity in every area of your life. Narcissists may try to belittle your achievements, but the more you excel, the more they'll realize they can't diminish your value. Your actions will show them what they missed out on when they took you for granted. Lastly, by showing your worth, you allow yourself to move forward with confidence and grace. You no longer seek validation from someone who is incapable of giving it. Your worth is inherent, and you've proven it not only to the narcissist, but to yourself as well. As you continue to grow and flourish, the narcissist will be left to reflect on the person they lost, and they'll regret every moment they spent undervaluing you. One of your true gifts, and that grew awake. In conclusion, dealing with a narcissist is never easy, but it's also an opportunity to rise above their toxic influence and reclaim your power. By understanding narcissism, setting boundaries, detaching with grace, focusing on self-growth, mastering silence, and showing your worth, you not only protect yourself, but also send a clear message that you are no longer the person they can manipulate or control. Through these steps, you will not only make them regret their actions, but also empower yourself to live a life of confidence, self-respect, and peace. You deserve to be treated with dignity. And when you embrace these strategies, you shift the balance of power in your favor. Remember, your strength lies in your ability to rise above their games, to stand firm in your value, and to keep moving forward with unwavering determination. The narcissist may regret their actions, but ultimately your growth and your success will be the loudest statement of all.